Action! The inspiration for Lotus Flower came about when I became aware of Chandwick's Vengeance trilogy. Eventually, when I sat down to write a short, the story naturally took over and Lotus Flower was born.
The reason I got involved was Barnaby, more than anything else. He said he had a project and no one, the audience, not even the main character, knew what was going on until nearly the end of the film. And that pretty much got me hooked.
I found that Barnaby's description of the script was far more emotive than actually just reading it, and that's how I became intrigued with it.
The thing that most intrigued me was the final scene. It was a very good dialogue in my opinion.
I found that that scene was an interesting challenge for both myself as a writer-director and John and Faraz as actors. We auditioned 30 to 40 people in total. And once we decided on the actors, I made sure that I was available for rehearsals, such as for the final scene, to answer any questions or to search for costume, to build a broader insight into the characters. Faraz absolutely blew us away. His disposition of subtle extravagance was exactly what I was looking for. Christina was simply perfect, although she has a relatively short amount of screen time, she brings a lot of presence to the character. The real challenge was finding somebody who was capable of playing Lotus. Quite honestly, I don't think anybody else could have offered quite so much or put up with the punishment that he did.
There's a scene where Lotus gets knocked out, gets a cosh on the back of the head. Luckily, that was the scene that we shot the most takes for. Barnaby was, I think, probably best described as instrumental in making sure that that was as realistic as possible. Lotus is knocked out. The actor is pretty much knocked out in that last scene.
Lotus's world may be dreamlike, haunting, and ultimately tragic, but the boss is perfectly content. And essentially I wanted to convey both of those experiences through the photography.
I think it worked really well, so I prepared technically by him explaining what he'd got to work with. I just looked at the kit I was using and decided, yep, we'll have a go.
Yeah, I think we can use that, and it's just about the positioning of it. We'll have to see what it looks like through the camera when we've got it set up as well.
I am making a black bin liner to cover that light there because it's filling in a shadow. We want a shadow on one side of Ruben's head face, but we can't get it with that light on, so I'm going to black it out.
The whole concept of the idea that there's no such thing as free will. You think that when you act autonomously, you're doing it because you've made that decision, and then you find out that actually it's all been planned for you. I really like that. It's a good metaphor for how some people can live their lives if they're not careful.